After pushing back against widespread calls for mass resignations at Hockey Canada, Andrea Skinner has handed in her own. But one expert says the departure of the organization's interim board chair after just 2 months in the position won't be enough to allow for culture change in the sport. The financial fallout was nearly immediate after Skinner's defiant testimony before a parliamentary committee last week.
Suggesting that toxic behavior is somehow a specific hockey problem or to scapegoat hockey as a centerpiece for toxic culture is, in my opinion, counterproductive.
Sponsor
Bring Team Canada home.
After sponsor withdrew its support. And some provincial associations announced they would withhold the funds they normally give to Hockey Canada. Upon reflection, it is clear to me from recent events that it no longer makes sense for me to continue to volunteer my time as interim chair or as director of the organization, Skinner said in a statement. Hockey Canada has been under pressure to clean house over its handling of cases of alleged sexual assaults involving players. What's it going to take for change to happen at this stage?
It's curious that more hasn't happened.
This professor of kinesiology tells me Skinner's resignation fails to address a culture that has for too long enabled misogynistic and racist behavior.
It seems to be a lack of willingness to accept that the problems are systemic.
The Prime Minister suggested if the game's governing body won't change, it may be time to change the entire organization.
If we have to create an organization, get rid of Hockey Canada and create an organization called Canada Hockey instead, people will look at doing that.
But Kerr says any new governing body needs a new structure.
Ideally, there would be national standards that cut across all sports and that require, for example, board and leadership representation that mirrors the Canadian society, and that the federal minister has the authority to hold sport organizations accountable to these national standards.
All of Canada's national sports governing bodies are autonomously run organizations. Now, government funding can influence the way they operate, but as Sportsnet reports, Hockey Canada relies on the federal government for only about 6% of its budget. Caryn Ceolin, CityNews.